Hi.
Hi. Welcome to another episode of Joyful Living. I'm Heather Rizzo. I'm a licensed body worker and holistic practitioner. My clients like to call me the Body Whisperer, and I'm one of the co-founders of the Joyful Healing Playground, which is a wellness center in Winona, Wisconsin.
And I'm Mary Crawford, also at the Joyful Healing Playground, and my business is The Joy of Being Well, doing energy work and working with essential oils.
Well, before we get started with today's topic, once again, making our disclaimer that we are not doctors, we cannot diagnose anything, and we're not here to make any claims of cure. Everything that we share are our personal opinions and testimonials that we've received from other people. So today, we're going to be talking about some of the exciting things that we have coming up for next month, the month of December, as well as Mercury Retrograde. Yeah, that's happening right now. So what is Mercury Retrograde? Well, I'm not going to get into the science of it. You can go online, Google that. But there are some ways that Mercury Retrograde impacts us that I want to just address because you might be feeling it already. We're pretty much in the middle of Mercury Retrograde right now. It goes direct around December 6th. So you might have already noticed your electronics just being really kind of wonky. That's a good word for it, really wonky. Just emails disappearing or weird things happening. And one of the reasons for that is that Mercury is the messenger. It's all about communication. So when Mercury is in retrograde, it can have an impact on things like communication, and that can include transfer of information technology. It can include the way that we communicate with other people too. So one of the things that I do during this time, and we go into Mercury retrograde a couple times of the year, and at the beginning of the year, one of the things that I do is I chart out in my calendar when Mercury retrograde is, so I can sort of have that heads up.
Get your communication done before that, right?
Get my big projects done, get my communication done before that. But one of the things that I like to do is to be extra cautious. Like I double check any emails that I'm going to send out. If there's something really important that I need to communicate, I might actually pick up a phone for the use of talking on it. I know a lot of us don't use our phones for that anymore, but just
youngsters.
I know, right? Just to be extra careful if it's sensitive content. The other thing I like to do is to schedule extra time for travel. So travel can sometimes get interrupted. But, you know, I have to be honest, in the past with Mercury retrograde, I was like, oh no, Mercury retrograde is coming up. But everything is a cycle, and there's a purpose to this cycle too. And so one of the ways that you can harness the energy of this time is what we call the re's. So if you're redecorating or reevaluating, I like to use this time for reflection. I also like to use it a lot for decluttering. And I actually think we could do a whole episode on decluttering. There's a really important energy around decluttering, around our stuff, around the management of our stuff. So I think that's a show that is coming. That's in the making. It's right now. It's in the making in my brain. So, but that brings me to an important point of it's not something to fear. It's just something to be aware of. So, anything that you'd like to add about how you approach Mercury retrograde?
Well, one thing I like to the way I think about any of the retrogrades, any of the planets retrograding. It's like if you're in the center lane on a freeway and there's a car on your left and a car on your right and they both pass you, it feels like you're going backwards. And that's the energy of a retrograde. It's the planet is like still spinning, but it's like moving backwards a little bit. And it's about slowing down, taking your time, as you mentioned, you know, reevaluating, rethinking. It's a time for us to slow down in our communication. However, when I'm really frustrated with my computer will do things like I'll type a whole bunch of words and only 2 of them will show up on the screen. So I do something that is an access process where you throw energy at the machine and you do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. for some reason the number 5, and that 5 energy is about breaking a chain, breaking disrupting a pattern. And so it seems to work. So you could try that.
Yeah.
But the other thing is to just be grounded. Be really certain that you personally are grounded, because sometimes we get all in our head, especially when we're working on the computer. We're working with our devices. We're all in our head and we're completely disconnected from the earth. And that is an electrical charge that you need to have connected. You need to be grounded. Thinking of any circuit in your home, if it's not grounded, it can cause a fire. It can cause a spark, a disruption. So ground your energy, get grounded, and really it'll help you get through Mercury Retrograde.
Yeah.
And use the oils, for goodness sakes.
Yeah, that can really help. Another thing that I like to do when my electronics are going wonky is I take it as a signal. It's just time to walk away and go do something else. And a lot of times when I come back to it, then I've taken that time to do some reflection while doing something else, that I can come back to it with a fresh perspective and move forward in a way that's a little more seamless and easy. So
cool.
Yeah.
Alrighty. Well, I have pulled a card for you today, which is something that I like to do. And this is from a card of gemstones, and it is the card rhodochrosite. So this is rhodochrosite. Let me see. You can see it. There's a lot of pink in it, and when you see pink, you think of heart energy. But it's got other energies in it too. It's the energy of honoring yourself, of really, understanding how strong and how powerful you personally are, and embracing your power and your beauty and your magnificence and your gifts, and really stepping into that energy. So this really goes so hand in hand with the season that we're in right now, with what the planets are doing, with the full moon that we just had. All of this energy is about you honoring your gifts and remembering who you are, because the planet is changing, and if we don't change along with it, we're going to get left behind a little bit. So pick up a rhodochrosite, carry it with you, or just tap into that energy of, I am powerful, I'm beautiful, I'm strong, I'm vibrant, I have gifts to share, and I recognize and honor who I am. Okay?
Yeah.
Cool.
Thank you. And the phrase "I am" is so powerful, and a lot of times it can be used in a way that's really unsupportive. In past episode, we talked about the power of the words that we speak, and so "I am" followed by something uplifting and empowering, like "I am empowered," "I am powerful," can go a long way. So just to be really mindful of the way that we talk about ourselves. So speaking of gifts, it's that time of the year. We've got Christmas, holidays coming up. And I don't know about you, but we were just talking about the energy of our stuff and decluttering. And so this time of the year, it can be so easy to get into that consumerism energy and get sucked into that. Today is Cyber Monday. It's so easy, to just go online and just order a bunch of stuff. But for me, I personally would rather have things that are of quality rather than quantity. And one of the things that I really love, some of my most favorite gifts are ones that are handmade. So that's what we're going to talk about next, is we're going to talk about some really easy ways to make some personalized gifts. And we were talking about how the oils are really grounding. And so not only can you make a great gift, but it can be personalized and it can be supportive to that person that you care about being more vibrant. And doTERRA means gift of the earth. Yes. These are amazing gifts just by themselves, but you can do some fun things with them. Yeah. So I'm going to share a gift that I'm looking forward to making this year, and some easy supplies. So this is a roller bottle, and it comes with a little stopper that you put in, and then a nice cap. You can get different colored caps, but a vibrant teacher blend. Who, we're always looking for gifts for teachers, and I'm really excited about doing this one if the teachers are watching, surprise, you're getting some oils for Christmas.
And it's going to be vibrant teacher.
Yeah.
So in January when you come back and feeling like,
that's right.
"Whoa."
Well, not only that, but it's small, so they can carry it with them. Like I carry one in my purse with me all the
You
time.
can even stick that in your pocket.
Right.
Yeah.
So not only will be beneficial for the teacher to help them to be their best self, but they're the ones that are with our kids most of the time during the day. So good for the teacher, good for the kids. So the recipe is 2 drops of orange, 2 drops of grapefruit, 2 drops of bergamot, 2 drops of clary sage, and 2 drops of frankincense, and then you just fill it with fractionated coconut oil. That is some potent stuff.
That's going to be awesome. I want
so
some of that.
I will put that recipe on our blog if you're interested. And I love now that you can get do-it-yourself supplies right on the doTERRA website now too. So it's super easy.
Yeah.
So
that's cool.
That's one of the ones I'm going to be doing.
I love that. And there's so many different kinds of combinations you can use for those little perfume bottles, those little oil roll-on bottles. What I love to do any time of year, not just during the holidays, is I make room sprays. And these are so easy. You buy the glass, like a 4-ounce or even an 8-ounce glass bottle that has a sprayer on it. And so many great places you can get those. You want to use glass always with the oils because plastic will absorb the oil. If you've ever put any greasy food in a plastic container, you know what it does. So use glass. Put a pinch of Epsom salts in the bottom of the glass jar first because that helps to distribute the oils because we're going to fill it up with water, and oil and water don't normally mix. And then you want to put your favorite oil or a blend of oils in there. My favorite combination oftentimes during the year is lemongrass and cinnamon. Now, lemongrass is a very cleansing oil. It not only cleanses just the air in general, but it also cleanses negative energies and hoarding energies and things like that out of the air. So, and then cinnamon adds a really vibrant, uplifting fragrance to it, and the two together are awesome, just beautiful. So you put maybe, depends on the size of the jar, of course. So let's say you have an 8-ounce bottle, you put maybe 10 to 15 drops of lemongrass and 5 drops of cinnamon in there, and then fill it up with water. Give it a good shake every time you use it, and just use it like a room spray. And this time of year, we have some beautiful holiday blends that you can put in the diffuser, or you can put in a spray bottle. Because sometimes you don't have time to fill the diffuser, and it's stuck in one place, and you want to do the whole house. So fill your little bottle and walk around the house with it and spray everywhere. And you get the balsam fir going, or get the holiday spice blend going. It's wonderful. It's wonderful, and it's so good for you.
Yeah.
It doesn't have any of the toxic chemicals in it that the other room sprays have. Some of those, there's one really popular one out there that starts with the letter F that please don't use that product. Please don't use that product. Yeah. And supposedly it gets rid of all the odors, but it replaces them with chemicals. So don't use that.
Yeah.
Use some good essential oils instead.
Yeah.
So.
Excellent. Will you put that recipe on our blog for our viewers to access? Excellent. Well, if you want to make this super easy, we have our Make and Take class coming up next month, December 11th. It's going to be at 6:30 till about 8. And I'm so excited. Our RSVP list is growing, and thank you to those of you who have RSVP'd already. I'm so looking forward to making gifts with you, and we want to make sure that you do RSVP. There is a $5 cover for that, but they'll get a gift with that $5. And then if you want to make any of the other projects that we have, it's just a la carte pricing for that.
Right. And space is limited, so if you're interested at all, please do, get yourself signed up right away so you save a spot. Yeah. Okay. And then it's the third Friday of the month at noon. At noon, we have the Sacred Woman Circle. And we are finishing the book Rise, Sister, Rise, which is, oh my gosh, Such an amazing book. So many, I mean, we could probably talk about this book for a year.
That's what I was just going to say. Yeah.
There's so much in it, but we're going to be switching to something new in January. So if you would like to come and just join us, even if you don't have the book, this is a time for you to connect with other women in a sacred place, in a really safe and private place where you can talk about what's going on in your life. What does it mean to be a woman right now in 2018, 2019? And what's changing for you, and what would you like to see in the coming year? So yeah, it's a good chance to get together with some of us. We're having some really good discussions. So again, you can go to the Joy of Being Well meetup group, and you'll find it listed there. There's also a Facebook event on the Joyful Healing Playground page.
Yep.
Where you can register there. We do like to know who's coming, so go ahead and register ahead of time at one of those places. Great.
Yeah, and it'll be winter solstice, so the energy is going to be extra yummy.
Ooh,
and then I also want to remind you that doTERRA has an amazing special going on for the month of November. So we got a couple days left to get in on this, where if you order 100 PV as a new enrollment, that you get 50 bonus product points. So if you've been thinking about trying it, now's the time. That's amazing. It's almost like